Huge difference in upbringing. May not apply to all romantic relationships. Let me explain what happened in my previous relationship. My boyfriend was too pampered at home. He gets things the moment he asks. While I had to be obedient enough to get things from my parents. My boyfriend is not used to hearing a no. He upset at trivial issues where I refused to eat unhealthy for a change or refused to bunk classes to save my attendance to even major things like when I refused nudes and premarital sex. He was not bound to any rules by his parents. He was let to make mistakes and learn from it. He was let to take decisions on his own. I was made to think of consequences before I do anything. My parents always advise me before I take my decision. Final say is mine. So he fearlessly takes decisions first and deals with consequences later, while I take decisions considering results and risks. I couldn't stand it when he decided he wanted to do higher studies by taking a year off and not attending interviews. He aimed only at Kat. I knew him well. I knew he wouldn't study seriously, so he had to have backup plans. I constantly asked him to write other competitive exams and attend jobs interviews side by side to be on safe side. He was pissed off at me being too critical about taking decisions. Finally, looking at his level of preparation, he dropped plans of higher studies in few months, didn't attend CAT, didn't have a job or skills requirement for getting job. Another 1 year he was pissed off at not getting hired but still didn't work on his skills. All I could do was consoling him and getting him referrals and materials to study. His parents spent all their money on his needs and wants. My parents only spent on my needs. For my wants, I had go an extra mile in achieving something. He would purchase things he didn't need and throw them away after he realizes it weeks later. He would order extra food and waste it. When he lived alone, though he had most kitchen appliances, he would order unhealthy food every day. I couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand me when I would try save my pocket money and refuse movies every other day or week. He couldn't stand me when I had purchased less packets of chips and other things. For him, enjoyment comes first. For me, health and safety comes first. He smokes and drinks given a chance while I do it occasionally. We don't approve of each other in this matter. I screw him for driving recklessly, he screws me for not being the pillion rider when he rides bike that way. Was boring girlfriend to him. He had maid at home. He didn't do his work by himself. He always had someone to do it for him. His parents would do it for him. My parents were against hiring maid. They always encouraged me to do things on my own. My ex used to ask me to do most of his stuff, and when I refused due to preoccupation, he complained that I don't love him enough. There is more. Probably I should stop here. Although these things were happening, I learned to adjust and compromise. I started adapting. I learnt few of his ways. I started learning more of his ways. I started losing what my parents taught me. And I lost more. And I finally lost myself. Anything that I did would hurt either him or my parents or both. In the process, even I would get hurt. I had emotional breakdowns every other day for few months. I slipped into mild depression. He couldn't handle me at my worst. He left me. While I was deeply hurt and sad, I felt an unusual relief.